everyone, welcome to this week's Open Boat. Today we are continuing with the Super Fluker Challenge by unveiling the third installment of catching your fluke, and we already did catching a fluke on a bucktail, catching a fluke on a teaser, but now, drum roll please, I am having you guys submit your fluke catches caught on live bait. And I'm also going to share with you guys my top 3 live baits that I like to use for fluke and how to get them. Starting off with the cult classic Killies. Now, of course, a lot of these baits are available at tackle shops, so support your local tackle shops if they carry live bait, but you can get them yourselves with Killies. You can catch them in little minnow traps. You can put in some little breadcrumbs. They love to eat breadcrumbs. They love their carbs, and it bulks them up for big fluke too. And of course, there's a cult classic picture of me when I was very little at the inlet with a big fluke that I caught. Not on the Barbie rod that I'm holding, but I did catch it on an old conventional where we were using Killies to catch those big fish in a special hole at that spot that still stands to this day. So it's a very good spot when you have Killies, and fluke just absolutely devour them. So that's one live bait that you can get a doormat fluke on. Bait number 2 is sometimes I just prefer catching them before even using them for fluke is spot. I love catching spot at my local little docks and piers, and I use a sabiki rig, and I bait the sabiki rig with the Fish Bites bloodworms, and you cut them into little tiny pieces to fit on those little tiny sabiki hooks, and you drop it down and you wait. And what I do is I cut my sabikis in half, so instead of playing with 6 hooks, I only have to deal with 3 because those fish will thrash around and that just causes a big mess. But catching those little fish on a sabiki and a light tackle rod and reel are so much fun. And if you catch spot, sometimes they can be like pretty big, like some guys use them for stripers and even tuna, so they do get big. You know, if you're using it for fluke and you get a fish on, that's a big fluke because they're swallowing that whole spot. So you could guarantee a doormat when you use spot for bait. And the last bait that I like to use, especially when I'm fluking off the beach, sand fleas, little tiny sand fleas. If you saw the video I did a couple weeks ago where I went fluking off the beach, the sand fleas were washing up. I had a fluke spit up a sand flea after I caught it, but they make a great live bait for fluking off the beach. I mean, obviously, you know the expression match the hatch, and that's one thing I recommend. When you're fluking on the beach, look at your surroundings, see what's being washed up, because most likely those fish are feeding on it, not just fluke, but resident stripers. They're feeding on the sand fleas. And then when you're off on the boats, cut open those fish that you just caught, look in their tummies and see what they've been eating too, so you can match the hatch for your next trip out. But just like the other 2 Super Fluker challenges, you're gonna take pictures of your catches, email them to me, and then, you know, let me know what you caught them on. If you didn't use a live bait I mentioned, maybe you're using live shrimp, let me know. As long as it's a legal live bait to use, let me know what it is. And hopefully, with this fluke bite heating up, you still have some months to go through. I hope to see some big fluke submissions. I have seen some big ones sent in from the bucktail and teaser categories, but now that we've opened up to the realm of live bait, I'm looking forward to seeing some doormats. So thank you guys. I will catch you on next week's Open Boat, and good luck fluking.